Hi guys, Craig Atkins here, and welcome to another Weekend Outdoors. Today we're going to take a look at my brand new Hobie PA14 with the Motorguide Xi3 kayak trolling motor. This is a wireless trolling motor with a 36-inch shaft that was made specifically for kayaks. And for a long time I've wanted power on my kayak because I fish all over the place, and you know, up on the Great Lakes and rivers and lakes, and some of the places that I fish are a half hour or more away from the boat ramp. And so, you know, I'm pedaling a half hour to get there, and I have a half hour pedal back. And you know, I always thought a trolling motor would save my legs and also cut my travel time and give me more time on the water. So, you know, I had fished out of a Predator PDL, an Old Town Predator PDL, for the last few years, and it was a great boat and I liked it a lot. But my brother had his PA14 and I got in his and I said, this is it, I have to have one. This is the answer to what I've been looking for. So I ordered one, and I ordered all the extras, and I want to run through them before we take it out on the water and show you some of the things, if you want to power a kayak, some of the things that you're going to have and have to do to your boat in order to have a trolling motor on your boat. So let's take a look, and we'll start at the very front of the boat first. After ordering my boat, the first thing I did was order my Motorguide trolling motor, and I bought it from Cabela's. It cost, I think, somewhere in the neighborhood of $730, and it came with free shipping, but with tax and all, it ended up being around $790. Now, I've got the trolling motor without the GPS in it because I didn't need the spot lock. It's not what I wanted the motor for. I just needed the motor for transportation, so that's why I bought the cheaper one. The ones with the GPS on it, you'll find, are, you know, more like $1,200–1,300. So this one is perfect for me, and so I ordered that, and I also ordered the mounts to mount it on my kayak. Now the mount that I went with was an Objective One bass fishing mount. They're $150, and I bought it from them. I think it's objectiveonebf.com, and I bought that mount from them, and it actually installs with no drilling. There's 4 screws that you remove, and they give you 4 new screws to mount the mount to the front of your boat, and it was very, very simple. I also, when I ordered the trolling motor, ordered the Motorguide quick release mount, and that was $60. I got it from Cabela's too. And I mounted the quick release to the Objective One mount in my living room. And so when I did the whole mounting thing, it was 10 minutes, start to finish. You can't beat that. It was very, very quick, and you know, the motor set right on there, locked right into place, easy peasy. So the next thing I did was ordered two Atwood trolling motor connections, male and a female. They were $11.99. I got those off of Amazon, and they do come with butt connectors, so it doesn't say if it does or doesn't, but you will find when you get them in the mail that they do come with butt connectors. However, I did end up going to Napa and buying 2 of the bigger blue butt connectors to attach my wires that I ran through the boat. So once I installed my trolling motor connectors, which was really easy, I think I used a 1 1/8 ounce paddle bit and drilled right through the hole where I wanted to mount my connection, and it does not interfere with the bucket in the front of the boat, so you don't have to worry about that. I did take it out when I drilled the hole, but you know, the wires are fine and they don't interfere with the bucket at all. But once I mounted that, I needed to have wires to run from the front of my boat to the back of the boat where I'm going to keep my lithium battery. So what I did, and I got this off a guy on YouTube, was I ordered from Amazon when I bought my Atwood connectors. I ordered a 12-foot set of 8-gauge jumper cables. And that was perfect. That was the cheapest way to come up with the wires. And I cut the ends off of them. Then I had 12 feet of 8-gauge wire that are marked negative and positive, and it was perfect, absolutely perfect. And they cost $13 with free shipping on Amazon. Man, how do you beat that? So I did have to use those dark blue butt connectors to connect the female trolling motor connector to the 12-foot of wire. And then I ran the wire through the through the hull of the boat, and I came up behind my seat. And I also purchased from Amazon a Yak Attack through the hull wire kit, and they're $20, $19.99, free shipping. And I mounted it on this side, right behind the seat, on this side of the back well. And the reason I did that is so when I brought the wires up and I pulled them apart so that I have about 18 inches of wire to come up over my Boondocks landing gear and attach to my trolling motor with trolling motor clips. And I bought those from Walmart for $5. And the reason I mounted them on this side of the back well was so that when I'm not going to use the motor, which is probably 90% of the time, I can roll those wires up behind the seat. They're out of the way. There's no way they're going to catch on anything. You know, it was a great idea. And then there's no stress on the wires coming up over the boondocks and clipping onto the top of the battery. Worked out perfect. Now, the clips that I did buy from Walmart for $5 were pretty darn cheap and chintzy, and I probably will replace those with a really nice set as soon as I find them. But for now, it works perfectly, so what the heck. It's fishing season, and I'm ready to go fishing. So the last thing I ordered was my lithium battery. And I looked and I looked and I looked everywhere for a good lithium battery, trying to find the best deal. And the best deal I found was on eBay. And I bought a 100 amp hour lithium battery that came with a 7 amp charger for $455 free shipping. And that was the best deal I could find anywhere. Now, it said it came with a 7 amp charger, but mine came with a 10 amp charger, which is even better. So, you know, it worked out really well. I got the charger and the battery and free shipping, and you know, it was a really good deal. It even has a USB port on the side of the battery that I can plug in my phone or whatever, and yeah, that is just super, super nice, but a great deal. And you know, I know Amazon also sells the same battery with the charger, but I think the better deal was on eBay, so that's where I ended up getting it. So that's just about it in a nutshell. You know, I've had this boat for about 6 weeks now. I've had it on Lake Michigan, I've had it in rivers, I've had it on lakes and ponds. I've spent a lot of time in it, and I've caught a lot of fish in it already. And you know, I spent enough time in it to know this is exactly what I was looking for. You know, if you're looking for a very sturdy kayak that you can add power to, and it just has everything. I'm extremely pleased, and this boat has met all of my expectations. So let's load it up and get it in the water. All right. Okay, so we got the boat launched. And there's a few things that you have to know before you put a motor on a kayak. One is when you power a kayak, water will come through those scupper holes right now. And so you will have to do something about plugging them. So I bought some plugs off of Amazon. I think I got 4 of them for $8, free delivery. And that's what I have in my kayak here. And one of them was leaking a little bit there. I just got it pushed down. It was up a little bit. But the back well, there's 2 in the back well, 2 under my seat here. Those need to be plugged, or the water's just going to flow into your boat and give it a good washing. Sometimes that's not a bad thing. Also, you'll either have to put in the blank cassette that the boat comes with, or leave your pedal drive in when you're using your motor, because water will bubble up through it as well. So personally, I find that leaving my pedal drive in is the best way to do it. And for me anyway, because I want my pedal drive with me. There'll probably never be a time when I just bring the motor only and no pedal drive. So most Hobies have this little bungee here on the floor on the left side of your seat, and what that is for is to clip onto your drive like that, and that keeps your fins up against the bottom of the boat. Now I can operate this motor as fast as I want. Very little, if any, water is going to come into the boat, depending on how fast I go. If I go full power, a little bit may come in, but you know, if you don't have it in, a lot of bit's going to come in. So you definitely have to have the plug or your drive in. So, all right, we are cruising here a little bit. I've got like on 1 or 2 speed right now. And we're cruising. We got the sun in our face. Got a nice stretch here. Let's power this thing up and see what she'll do. It comes with a remote control, and like I said, I don't have GPS on this one, so I don't have the spot lock. I just have a simple remote control, and it has a power on and off, power up and power down, and buttons to turn it left or right. Now, personally, I found that it's much better just to steer with the rudder. So I just keep the motor pointing straight and let her rip, because basically I wanted the motor for transportation reasons, to get me from point A to point B, not necessarily to work a bank with or, fish. But, if you are a bass fisherman and you want to do that, and if you have the stand-up mechanism for the Hobie, I don't know what they call that thing, but I know my brother has one. He uses it all the time, where a leaning bar or something that you mount on the front of your boat here, and you can lean up against it and use your motor on a slow speed. Oh, it'd be perfect. You could stand up and fish and work a bank. Oh man, wouldn't get any better than that. But I'm not much of a bass fisherman. I fish for a lot of things, but I don't fish for largemouth very much. I like bigger fish, so I'm always looking for something different. So anyway, those are some things that you want to remember and think about. We're going to crank this thing up full speed and see how fast she'll go. Right now I'm at 4.3 with the wind, going with the wind. Yeah, I'm maintaining 4.7 miles an hour with the wind. Actually, when I went to the other end of the lake, I was maintaining 4.7, 4.6. Heck, can't beat that. This is nice. And a lot of people are gravitating towards the new Old Town line of boats right now, kayaks I should say, and are loving them. But I came from an Old Town Predator PDL, coming to the Hobie Pro Angler 14. And this is so much more boat. It's not even in the same category. I mean, when I go fishing, everything is in my boat. Right now, everything I fish with is in this boat. I have 4 rods, all my tackle. I am loaded down with everything, and I'm cooking along at 4.7 miles an hour, even against the wind. That's awesome. Everything about this boat is way better, way better. And I have had this boat long enough to say that even a used Hobie PA14 is better than a new anything else out there. It is. This is in a class all its own. And I don't get paid by Hobie to say that. I'm telling you this from experience.